Welcome back, WWE fans. WWE The Update in the house with your daily dose of matches, highlights, and news. Ring that bell and let's roll. Monday Night Raw opened with an energy that felt different from the very first moment because the fallout from Saturday night's main event was still hanging heavy in the air, and the WWE Universe could sense that something major had shifted. Gunther's victory over John Cena in what was billed as the final match of Cena's farewell tour wasn't just another result in the record books. It was a moment that instantly became part of WWE history. Fans were still processing the reality that one of the most iconic careers of all time had come to an end, and Raw became the stage where emotions, egos, and unfinished business collided, in a way that reminded everyone just how unpredictable WWE can be when real pride and legacy are involved. Gunther's victory and the weight of history. Gunther defeating John Cena was presented as more than just a passing of the torch, because Cena isn't simply a former champion. He's a symbol of an era, a locker room leader, and a global ambassador for WWE. For Gunther, the win was the biggest statement of his career, cementing his dominance and reinforcing the idea that the ring general stands above sentiment and nostalgia. However, victories of that magnitude come with responsibility, and while Gunther's in-ring performance earned respect from fans and peers alike, the way he carried himself afterward would soon become the center of attention, shifting the conversation from celebration to controversy. Backstage tension begins to boil. According to Backstage chatter, the atmosphere behind the scenes on Raw was tense long before the cameras caught anything unusual, with several superstars reportedly buzzing about comments Gunther had made following his win. It was said that Gunther openly mocked John Cena's legacy, framing the victory not as an honor but as proof that Cena's time had long passed and that the old generation no longer mattered. While trash talk is nothing new in WWE, these remarks reportedly struck a nerve, especially given the respect Cena has earned over decades of carrying the company through its biggest moments and toughest transitions. Why John Cena's legacy matters. John Cena's legacy in WWE goes far beyond championships and main events, because for many inside the company, he represents professionalism, loyalty, and the standard of what it means to be a WWE superstar. Cena was the face of the company during years of intense scrutiny, evolving fan expectations, and massive global expansion, and he did it while rarely stepping out of line backstage. That's why any perceived disrespect toward him isn't just taken personally by fans, but also by management and talent who watched him set the tone for the locker room. In that context, Gunther's reported comments were never going to be ignored or brushed aside. Triple H steps in as the authority. This is where Triple H entered the situation, and when he does, everyone pays attention, because his role behind the scenes carries both creative power and deep respect, rooted in his own legendary career. Sources indicate that Triple H confronted Gunther backstage on Raw, delivering a stern and direct warning that cut straight to the point. The message was clear. Dominance in WWE is earned through performance, but respect is non-negotiable, especially when it comes to legends who helped build the foundation of the company. Triple H reportedly made it known that while confidence is encouraged, crossing the line into outright disrespect would not be tolerated. Gunther refuses to back down. What made the situation even more intense was Gunther's response, because rather than offering an apology or softening his stance, he reportedly stood his ground and refused to take back his comments. From Gunther's perspective, his character is built on ruthless honesty and an unshakable belief in his superiority, and backing down would undermine everything he represents. This refusal added fuel to the fire, turning a simple backstage warning into a moment of real tension, where two powerful philosophies clashed, one rooted in tradition and respect, the other in cold dominance, and the belief that the past should never overshadow the present. The locker room takes notice. Whenever a confrontation like this happens between a top star and management, the entire locker room pays attention, and this situation was no different. Superstars are said to be watching closely, aware that how this unfolds could set a precedent for how far characters can push the envelope in the current WWE landscape. Some reportedly admire Gunther's unwavering confidence, while others see Triple H's stance as necessary to protect the culture and values that keep the locker room united. Either way, the tension has created an undercurrent on Raw that makes every segment feel more meaningful and every interaction more charged. Potential storylines and real consequences. What makes this situation so compelling is the blurred line between storyline and reality, because WWE has a long history of turning real backstage tension into must-see television. If this conflict continues, it could evolve into a larger narrative that impacts Gunther's trajectory, possibly putting him at odds with other legends or authority figures who feel the same way as Triple H. At the same time, there's a real-world lesson being reinforced about accountability and respect, reminding everyone that even in a business built on conflict, there are lines that carry weight far beyond the ring. Why Raw feels unpredictable. Again, moments like this are exactly why Raw feels unpredictable right now, because it's not just about matches and promos, it's about personalities, values, and the consequences of crossing certain boundaries. Fans tune in not knowing whether they'll see subtle references, direct confrontations, or escalating tensions that explode into something much bigger. Gunther standing firm while Triple H lays down the law creates a compelling dynamic that keeps viewers invested, wondering who will blink first and how this power struggle will reshape the landscape of WWE. The bigger picture. Moving forward. As WWE moves forward from John Cena's farewell, the company is clearly entering a new chapter, one where new stars define the future while still standing on the shoulders of legends. How Gunther navigates this moment could define his legacy just as much as his dominant performances in the ring. Whether this situation cools down quietly or erupts into a full-blown on-screen or backstage conflict, one thing is certain: the WWE Universe is watching closely, the locker room is on edge, and Monday Night Raw just became must-watch television all over again, proving that respect, legacy, and ambition will always collide in the world of WWE,